National Institute for Occupational Safety and Health begins probe into collapse of under-construction condominium. Hello and good evening. I'm Cynthia Arthur. You're watching News on 2. 2 new COVID-19 cases were detected in the country overnight, bringing cumulative cases to 21. Health Minister Datuk Seri Dr. Zulkifli Ahmad said the 2 new cases involved Chinese nationals, a man and a woman. He said the man, who is the 20th case, is a 27-year-old businessman from Guangzhou and was found having symptoms during screening at the Bukit Kayu Hitam Customs, Immigration and Quarantine Complex in Kedah yesterday.
Sampel klinikal telah diambil untuk ujian pengesahan COVID-19 dan beliau terus dimasukkan ke ward isolasi di Hospital Sultanah Bahiyah, Kedah, dan pagi ini sampel klinikal throat swab beliau disahkan positif awal pagi tadi.
As for case 21, the woman, aged 32, is a resident in Malaysia but visited China from the 22nd to 30th of January. She was confirmed positive for COVID-19 this morning. Datuk Seri Dr. Zulkifli briefed reporters on the latest on COVID-19 after opening the annual general meeting of Sekolah Kebangsaan Desa Aman Desa Coalfields Parent Teacher Association in Kuala Selangor today. At the event, he also handed over 5,000 bottles of hand sanitizers contributed by Elite Advanced Materials Sdn Bhd for use by 35 schools in the district. In his speech, the Kuala Selangor MP advised the people not to panic over the COVID-19 situation in the country, saying the government had things well under control. He said even though the infection rate in China, where COVID-19 started, was at 4.8 to 5%, in Malaysia and the rest of the world, it was only from 0.5 to 1%. Housing and Local Government Minister Zuraida Kamaruddin today said the sales license of the partially built condominium block in Taman Desa, Kuala Lumpur that collapsed yesterday will be suspended until investigations are completed. Zuraida said the Attorney General's chambers will suspend the condominium developer's advertising permit and developer's license, APDL. The minister also said that her ministry will hold a meeting with the relevant bodies, including the developer, on Monday.
Now is the stage of investigation. So investigation, NIOSH akan conduct this investigation, and KPKT sebagai regulator untuk pembangunan, kita akan membuat satu mesyuarat hari Isnin pukul 2.30 yang melibatkan DBKL, CIDB, NIOSH dan KPKT sendiri, dan juga mungkin developer sekali.
Speaking to reporters after officiating the 2020 Kuala Lumpur Architecture Festival today, Zuraida said there are no land issues involved as the project is supposed to finish in 54 months. She said the probe into the cause of the collapse will take about a month and NIOSH had been asked to speed up the process. A stop work order has already been issued to the contractor. Meanwhile, the partial collapse of a condominium under construction yesterday is neither triggered by landslide nor heavy rain. Federal Territories Minister Khalid Abdul Samad said preliminary reports had confirmed this. The minister, however, said authorities would be investigating whether foundation issues were a factor and determine if the building's columns and beams lacked strength.
Mungkin dia punya sama ada foundation dia tak menepati spek ataupun dia punya kolom-kolom dia, tiang-tiang dia tak menepati spek sehingga yang tingkat 6 roboh sampai ke tingkat 1 semua roboh. So tu dia orang akan buat kajian dan kita akan dapat tahulah apa yang sebenarnya punca dia.
Khalid, when met at a community program at the Seri Perak Flats in Sentul, also said the Department of Occupational Safety and Health, JOSH, is currently conducting its investigations. Part of the 37-story condominium project collapsed yesterday, trapping 2 workers who were later rescued. On another note, the National Institute for Occupational Safety and Health, NIOSH, in a statement said the incident yesterday should not have happened. It said it will leave the investigation to be conducted by the authorities. NIOSH said the employer and workers have the responsibilities of ensuring the safety of the workplace, and the work is done as per procedure. It said the construction materials used could also be the factor behind the incident. The statement also said that NIOSH believe that Construction Industry Development Board, CIDB, and the Department of Occupational Safety and Health, DOSH, will ensure that stern action will be taken should any wrongdoing be found leading to the collapse. Prime Minister Tun Dr. Mahathir Mohamad has expressed hope the decision on whether the teaching and learning of science and mathematics in English PPSMI can be reintroduced or otherwise can be made next year. Tun Dr. Mahathir Mohamad, who is also acting Education Minister, said the government had set up a subcommittee to evaluate the matter and would prepare a proposal paper for cabinet deliberation. The Premier said the Cabinet would determine whether PPSMI would be reintroduced or to maintain the teaching of the two subjects in the national language.
By next year, kita boleh sedia cukup. Waktu ini kita belum ada guru dan sistem pengajaran juga akan ditukar. Kita tak guna sistem lama, kita akan guna sistem baru yang mana lesson itu disediakan oleh pakar dan guru boleh memimpin anak-anak murid-murid dan guru sendiri boleh belajar.
The Prime Minister was met at a medical outreach program organised by Langkawi Youth Power Club and National Heart Institute in Sungai Tahu Air Hangat. PPSMI was introduced in 2003 when Tun Dr. Mahathir served as Malaysia's fourth Prime Minister, but was reversed in 2012. All applications to Institutes of Higher Learning by Sijil Pelajaran Malaysia SPM holders will be made through an integrated application portal, MyUPU, beginning this year. Deputy Education Minister Teo Nii Ching said this would provide more opportunities for students to further their studies and to maximize the placement of students in the program of their choice. According to Teo, previously, students had to make separate applications for entry to higher education institutions. But by having a single application portal, more students would have the opportunity to further their studies at these institutions.
Tujuan kita adalah kita boleh elakkan tawaran bertindih. Kerana tahun dulu UPU, melalui UPU dia akan dapat tawaran. Tetapi kalau pada masa yang sama pelajar tu buat permohonan kepada college matrikulasi ataupun IPGM, dia mungkin akan dapat 2 tawaran ataupun 3 tawaran. Jadi dia berlaku tawaran bertindih.
Teo added that last year alone, of the 135,000 places that were offered by these institutions, about 10,000 places were unfilled. She was speaking to the media after launching the Jom Masuk IPT 2020 program for the Southern Zone at the Persada Johor International Convention Centre. The Move is a signature program organised by the Ministry to promote and provide information on higher education opportunities offered by the institutions. Johor is the first location for the program this year, with other locations being Pahang, Kedah, Sabah, Perak, Terengganu, Sarawak and Selangor. Women, Family and Community Development Ministry Hannah Yeoh has called on all quarters to raise awareness, change perception and stigma related to underage marriage issues in the society. Hannah said it is of utmost importance that this issue is addressed in a prudent manner to ensure that the future of the children involved in child marriages is not jeopardized. Speaking at the 2020 Make a Difference Youth Summit in Subang, Selangor today, Hana has also urged parents to spend more quality time with their children and educate them on their rights to childhood and education.
Children must belong in school. You have to move. Kementerian kita akan pantau untuk pastikan semua agensi bersama kita. Ini adalah engagement yang berterusan dan kita mintalah kerjasama semua pihak kerajaan negeri kena memberi kerjasama kepada Putrajaya untuk membantu kita kerana ini adalah isu keselamatan, kesihatan, kebajikan kanak-kanak.
On 16th of January, the government rolled out a national strategy plan in handling the causes of child marriage. Deputy Prime Minister Datuk Seri Dr. Wan Azizah Wan Ismail said the 5-year plan had 17 strategies and 58 programs to be undertaken by 61 agencies. On other efforts that were carried out to start the ball rolling in addressing underage marriage, the Sharia Judicial Department of Malaysia had also come up with a standard operating procedure for marriage applications involving minors as reference nationwide. The body of a man who suffered from breathing difficulties when he was hiking Gunung Basor in Jeli, Kelantan has been brought down at 8 a.m. today. The hiker, Zulkifli Ibrahim, aged 43 and believed to have passed away due to cardiac arrest, was brought down with the help of the police, fire and rescue department and civil defence force personnel within 6 hours of hiking. Kelantan Deputy Police Chief, Senior Assistant Commissioner Abdullah Muhammad Pia said the operation to retrieve the body took some time as the forest was quite thick and never been explored.
Dia bersama 4 orang rakan memasuki kawasan hutan simpan dengan tujuan untuk cari trek baru. Sepatutnya pada 13 hari bulan dia akan membawa satu kumpulan pelajar untuk jungle trekking. Jadi pada 12 hari bulan dia masuk tu dia dipercayai mendapat sakit dan terus meninggal pada petang 12 hari bulan.
SAC Abdullah Muhammad Pia added that the body was sent to Jeli Hospital for autopsy. We begin with local sports. German rider Maximilian Richard Walscheid of NTT Pro Cycling Team clinched his second stage win after emerging victorious in the final stage of the 2020 Le Tour de Langkawi LTDL. Walscheid won the 108.5-kilometer final stage from Dataran Lang to Kuah in a time of 2 hours, 29 minutes and 8 seconds to emerge the overall winner of the sprint, the Petronas green jersey. Italian Luca Paccioni of Androni Ghiacatoli Sidermec and ARA Pro Racing Sunshine Coast rider Touch Jones of Australia finished second and third respectively, and the chief judge awarded a common time of 2 hours, 29 minutes and 8 seconds to the top 10 riders who crossed the finish line in a sprint bunch. Malaysian Continental Team, Team Sapura Cycling TSC, on the other hand, clinched 2 jerseys, yellow jersey as overall winner via Italian rider Danilo Castellano and red jersey through national rider Muhammad Nur Aiman Muhammad Zarif, who emerged as the king of mountain. Vino Astana Motors rider Yevgeny Fedorov of Kazakhstan won the white jersey as the best Asian rider.
Terima kasih untuk penajaan jersey kuning, jersey hijau, jersey pucat.
Prime Minister Tun Dr. Mahathir Mohamad expressed confidence that Malaysian road cyclists have the potential to become world beaters, including competing in the famed Tour de France. He said the success shown by national cyclists in the just concluded Le Tour de Langkawi LTDL 2020 prove that Malaysians have the ability to compete with the world's best.
Dan saya lihat bahawa buat kali pertama seorang daripada Malaysia memakai baju jersey merah. Ini tunjuk bahawa kita mempunyai kebolehan. Yang penting ialah kita latih diri kita sepanjang masa. Tak berhenti sepanjang tahun sehingga tahun depan kita ada race lagi. Saya harap mereka akan dapat mencapai kejayaan yang lebih daripada hari ini. Lama-lama mungkin mereka akan jadi world class dan akan bertanding dalam Tour de France dan lain-lain lagi.
He said this after the end of LTDL's 8th and final stage in Kuah Town, Langkawi. The Premier also hoped LTDL will continue to be organised in the future as the race has garnered worldwide following and media publicity. That concludes this evening's news on 2. In our top story, National Institute for Occupational Safety and Health begins probe into collapse of under-construction condominium. Join us again at 7 tomorrow evening. I'm Cynthia Arthur. Stay tuned to TV2 and have a pleasant evening.